It's never really too early to start listening to holiday music, right? So, if you usually follow our Milan-Berlin Library District YouTube page, you're probably wondering why you're seeing my face launch a video on a day other than Friday for our Friday Film Recs. Well, I am very excited to announce we are starting a brand new video series all about the music that you can check out totally for free with the use of your Milan-Berlin Library District card. Now, I know a lot of people out there already subscribe to services like Spotify or Apple Music, but what's fantastic about Hoopla Digital, which is the service we are going through, is that there are no monthly fees. There are also no overdue fines. It's really a free service. You get 10 checkouts every single month, and those checkouts can go for music, they can go for videos, they can go for books, they can go for anything that you want that's available on the Hoopla Digital website. And the other thing that's fantastic about that website is that anything you see is instantly available. There are no waiting times, there's nothing that you have to put a hold on. If you see it, you can get it. I wanted to kick off our very first episode of Tune In with something extra special, which is why we are going to do a rundown of the top 10 holiday albums available on Hoopla Digital. And yes, these are my favorite top 10, and while I think everybody should love these albums, I understand that not everybody has the same taste. So, even if you don't happen to find something on this list that tickles your fancy, please, please, please do check out Hoopla Digital's selection. They literally have hundreds of holiday albums on there. I guarantee you're going to find something that you like. So, without any further ado, let's go ahead and start off that rundown. Taking the number 10 spot is the album Now That's What I Call Merry Christmas. A lot of you are probably familiar with the Now That's What I Call Christmas albums that come out pretty much every year. Well, this one's a bit of a compilation of all the best of those. Plus, it mixes in a lot of really familiar, wonderful, classic carols as well. So you've got your contemporary artists singing their more recent hits, like Kelly Clarkson singing Underneath the Tree, truly an excellent, excellent song. Justin Bieber singing Mistletoe, Ariana Grande singing Winter Things. But then you've got Jose Feliciano singing Feliz Navidad. You've got Bing Crosby singing White Christmas, Frank Sinatra singing Jingle Bells. So you've got the album anchored by these tunes you've been hearing for literal decades. Now, there's also an essential Now That's What I Call Christmas available on Hoopla Digital, and I almost recommended that one, but it does not include Sam Smith's cover of Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas, which I think is truly one of the best covers of that song ever done. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love Judy Garland's original, but this one is so melancholy and so beautiful. I mean, it's Sam Smith. He makes everything melancholy and beautiful, so there you go. But yes, please, please check out Now That's What I Call Merry Christmas for a great mix of head-bobbing contemporary tunes along with memorable carols that you've been hearing for years. You won't regret it. Excellent, excellent album. And that's my number 10. If you're looking to add a little bit of twang to your holiday tunes this season, I strongly, strongly urge you to check out my number 9 pick, Dolly Parton's A Holly Dolly Christmas. Now, this just came out, and it features, of course, her usual lyrical tone, that bright, lovely sound that we're all kind of familiar with, along with collaborations with artists like Miley Cyrus, Billy Ray Cyrus, Willie Nelson, Michael Buble, and a truly unexpected collab with Jimmy Fallon, of all people. Now, this album has traditional Christmas carols as well as a number of really solid recent originals that she's put together. So it's basically a fun, fresh album, and, you know, it just sort of proves that this is Dolly's world and we're all just living in it. But yes, if you are a Dolly fan, I strongly, strongly recommend this one. You won't regret it. Excellent songs. Whether or not you got caught up in Hamilton fever when all of that was going on, I still strongly, strongly urge everyone to take a listen to my number 8 pick, which is Simply Christmas, the Deluxe Edition by Leslie Odom Jr. Leslie Odom is the artist who played Aaron Burr in the Hamilton original Broadway cast, as well as the recent Disney release, and he's just got this extraordinarily solid voice. I mean, it's beautiful, it's mellow, it's emotional, and it's perfect for holiday songs. Simply Christmas is one of those albums that I can pop in and just listen to on repeat over and over and over again. It features uh, a ton of the classics that you are already familiar with, but it also features covers of more contemporary hits like Sarah Bareilles and Ingrid Michaelson's Winter Song, and it's extraordinarily lovely. I mean, his sort of smooth, mellow tone with that kind of melancholy lyric is just perfect. Um, he also has a more recent album, it's just called the Christmas album, that is available on Hoopla Digital as well, but I would definitely listen to Simply Christmas first. I think it's a better example of all the things that he can do with his voice, and it's just in general, to me, a stronger Christmas album. So Simply Christmas Deluxe Edition by Leslie Odom Jr., also available and wonderful. My number 6 pick is an album called A Christmas Together, featuring a collaboration with John Denver and, wait for it, the Muppets. That's right, I said the Muppets. And it's this blend of fun, funny, and nostalgia that just leaves you with warm, fuzzy feelings. And isn't that really what the season's all about? That warmth and happiness that certain things will bring you? Um, in addition to being quite humorous most of the time, you've got some genuinely lovely music mixed in. In particular, is the Peace Carol, definitely heavy on John Denver, but the other Muppets get involved as well, and it's definitely fun to see if you can pick out the different voices. I remember doing that as a kid. Which one is Fozzie? Which one is Gonzo? Oh my gosh, Kermit's singing now. And it just adds a lot when you're able to do that. I think have extra fun with a Christmas album. So if you're looking for something that is definitely going to make you smile, will definitely make you recall past times, Christmas Together, John Denver and the Muppets is a wonderful, wonderful pick. If you are more of a fan of purely strong female vocals, you need look no further than my number 5 pick, Holiday Wishes from Idina Menzel. Now, Menzel has a phenomenal, phenomenal voice. There's no question about that. Whether you're familiar with her because of Wicked, or you know her because of her role in Frozen and Let It Go, or maybe you don't know who I'm talking about at all, you absolutely need to check the album out because she has some unbelievably wonderful covers of Christmas music on here. You know, she knows her voice, she knows the style of her voice, which is highly theatrical, and she opts for music that really lends itself well to that style. She has a lot of holiday torch songs on there, which goes beautifully with her singing style. But then she also leaves a little bit of room for unexpected songs, like, say, Mariah Carey's All I Want for Christmas. I did not see that coming, but it's still a great cover of the song. The other perk is you could potentially tell your kids that it's Elsa singing, and they could be entertained for hours. Because, not totally untrue, it is the voice of Elsa, so just yet another perk of this particular album. If you're longing for the jazzy stylings of, say, the Rat Pack, definitely check out my number 4 pick, A Jolly Christmas from Frank Sinatra. Now, this album is pure old Blue Eyes. I mean, nothing rings in the season for me like hearing Frank Sinatra croon songs like the Christmas song, Jingle Bells, even the Christmas Waltz, where he just sort of slides into different phrases. I mean, his signature style is so, so, so familiar, and it's just one of those things that really brings me back to listening to music with my grandparents. It's full of nostalgia, but it still feels fresh at the same time. It's not one of those voices that seems super dated to me at the same time. So if you love that old school style, but still want the charm and warmth that Frank Sinatra brings to the table, check out A Jolly Christmas from Frank Sinatra. The album is full of classics that you will definitely have heard for years and years and that you probably still love. Looking for even more crooning this holiday season? If so, definitely check out my number 3 pick, Michael Bublé's Christmas, the Deluxe Special Edition. Bublé's voice is definitely a throwback to that Rat Pack era. I mean, that's what he's known for. But he utilizes these really fantastic and inspired arrangements to make everything a little bit fresher, a little bit newer in the absolute best of ways. Like, I'm sure we've all heard at this point his new arrangement of White Christmas that he sings with Shania Twain, the do 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 do. Anyway, I mean, that's playing in my head even now. Uh, just because I've heard it so many times, and I still like it every time I hear it. Um, I'm also not embarrassed to say that I actually really love his super jazzy version of "All I Want for Christmas Is You" from Mariah Carey, originally done by Mariah Carey. 100% different from Mariah Carey's, thank goodness, because I don't want to hear him riffing. But still, a really great chill version of the song. So yeah, it's one of those where if you appreciate different kinds of arrangements, if you like that sort of older style standard vibe, it's the perfect blend of both worlds. So Michael Bublé's Christmas Deluxe Special Edition, definitely a good pick for you. If you're more interested in the classical side of things, my number 2 pick is absolutely perfect for you. It's Classic Christmas Carols from Cambridge's King's College Choir. King's College Choir is incomparable. It's one of the best choruses in the world, and they sound unbelievable on this album. It's this gorgeous playlist of more than 50 songs, and that ends up being a runtime of more than 2.5 hours. So you just press play and let it run, and you don't have to worry about repeats. It's it's just truly a rather transcendent album. The music and the voices, and it absolutely soars in certain parts, and I really do love this playlist. So classic Christmas carols from Cambridge King's College Choir. It's a perfect choice for people who are more into the classical choral side of things. We have finally reached my number 1 pick for best holiday album available on Hoopla Digital, and that coveted spot goes to, drumroll please, a Charlie Brown Christmas soundtrack. Now, there's nothing for me like music that brings you back to your childhood. And again, for me, there are very few albums that do so with the immediacy that Charlie Brown Christmas is able to. Um, every single track on this album not only will transport me back to that particular spot in the animated feature, but it also reminds me of where I was when I watched it, who I was with, and that includes sometimes family members that are no longer with me. And that's really a wonderful memory. Like, to be able to have that kind of recall. And isn't that what the season is all about? The warm fuzzies you get by remembering family and friends? Um, the album is also sort of the perfect blend of bright and happy tunes with more melancholy songs. Like, who doesn't love bopping around to the Linus and Lucy theme? But then, you get these tracks that have this sort of chill, smooth sadness to them, like Christmas Time Is Here. Um, Side note, if you've never heard Sarah McLachlan cover Christmas Time Is Here, you absolutely need to. It's so beautiful. But I digress. You have that blend of moods, and it just sort of works perfectly for something so nostalgic like a Charlie Brown Christmas album. So yeah, it is my number 1 pick, and I strongly urge everyone to check it out, whether it's, an old album to you or it's something brand new. It is wonderful. So with that is my top 10 favorite holiday albums available on Hoopla Digital. If any of those don't catch your fancy, again, check out Hoopla Digital's collection. They have hundreds of Christmas albums on there. You will find something you like. They also have thousands of other albums available on there. So it's a wonderful service that I strongly urge people to use and to enjoy. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and sign off. I hope everyone has a wonderful weekend, and I will see you again next week.